Good morning, afternoon, and evening from wherever you are listening. Welcome back to the Breakevens podcast. My name is Corey, and as always, with me is Jack.
Hello.
So, Jack, round 16 is over, and we had some teams score over 2,800, which is absolutely nuts. And we had Aaron Hall who burnt us, and a few of us as well. So, not great. And also, just quickly, Fantasy Premier League has dropped, so get around it. Thank you all again for your support. As always, we've had some people find us on Twitter. A few people today chatting to us about FPL, which is great. If you haven't seen, I've posted my first draft on there, and we're going to post Jack's after this podcast. So find us on Twitter at the Breakevens. Post your teams down below on either of our posts. You can also find us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Just search the Breakevens and you'll see our logo there. Alrighty, so today's podcast, it's going to be much the same. We're going to review last round's games, give our hot and colds. We're going to go through the VC and C options, go through our teams and the Breakevens team, which is doing really well and I think has jumped me in the ranks. And the only change this week is there's no discussion points just because not much has really happened. Supercoach related wise anyway. So Jack, how did you go last week?
Well, I had a donut because English was still out with concussion and Judson Clark got kicked out the team, and I scored 2,305 with that, which I thought was a decent score.
Yep.
But I've dropped 3,500 ranks, so I'm back to where I was 2 weeks ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm back in 21,000. Not great at all. A few pickups that I brought in have pretty much let me down the entire way through. Jack Crisp and Paddy Cripps are the two. Crisp hasn't gotten a 90 since I brought him in, and Patrick Cripps has only turned up once since I brought him in, or maybe twice, and one was a very low 100. But point proven is they're shit.
Yep.
Going off this week, George Hewitt had his second week under 100, which wasn't great. I brought in Aaron Hall last week, as I said, and let's just say never again am I putting Aaron Hall in my team. He could be averaging 260 points. I don't give a fuck. Mills had a stinky one, which people, myself included, were surprised he got to an 85. He didn't do much all game at all, and it's like one goal gave him 60 Supercoach, which is a laugh because it wasn't a winner. Cripps obviously with a 98. Witts had a 63, which is bullshit. He was on 80 something when the game finished, and I was like, oh, he should get bumped up a bit. He killed it. He went from 80 something to 63.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't get, because he had so many hit-outs to advantage. He had 13 odd disposals, and he doesn't score well.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Parker had a 98, and Baker only got a 90, but that's not too bad. It's better than what his average is showing, and his second half was a 70-point half, so...
Any
trades this
yeah.
Aaron Hall, obviously, and I've gone him down to Isaac Cumming. He's someone I was talking about, I think, last week or the week before, about someone if you could possibly trade out because he's underperforming.
Yeah.
But I was pretty much looking for a consistent scoring defender who didn't get suspended last week. And his scores have pretty much been 90 plus for the whole season. So it's like, I'll take that, especially at his price, which gives me 64K to upgrade someone else if they don't perform this week.
Yep. Nice. All right. So I scored 2,419. I only dropped 994 ranks, so it's not too bad. But now I sit at 15,994. The only thing that let me down really was Aaron Hall. So he absolutely destroyed me. I went Aaron Hall last week, knowing the potential of what could happen. But at that price and me trying to climb the ranks, I had to get aggressive and take a bit of a risk. But unfortunately, that risk didn't pay off this year. I should have stuck with my guns because I had Jordan Dawson, who scored 130 odd more than him. But if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have been able to do this week's trades. So it worked out, sort of, not really. No, it didn't work out. So now I'm sitting in a hard position with my trades. I'm going Hoff to Walsh. I knew that probably about 3 weeks ago that I was going to get Walsh. Thought about Mills, but he's dropped to two sinky ones recently. And Walsh has a big run home. So he's my M8. So my last primo, so I'm full primo a bit later than most, but that's okay. Things have happened. So and I've gone Hall down to Isaac Cummings, similar to Jack. With what I was left, it was basically the best option I had. I could have downgraded Jacob Ware this week and then upgraded next week. But similar to the reason for getting Hall, Cummings going to be a bit of a pod. Could definitely rack it up. So I'd be happy with a 95 average for the rest of the season. Anything over that is a win. I'm not entirely happy, but it's the choice I've had to go. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, as I said, I'm full primo now. The only downside is I have 2 trades left with Cripps and Short in my squad, who are starting to sync it up. So that's my team. As I'll move on to the VC and C options. Clary Oliver 133 average over the last 3 versus the Cats. That's on a Thursday night, so that's going to be most people's VCs, I feel. Lockie Neal, the first game on Sunday, played the Bombers, who has an average of 170 over the last 3. He's my captain, so that's my vice captain, the captain there. Clary into Neal. Jack's cheeky pick of Rory Laird as a captain, 130 versus Hawthorn on the second game on Sunday. Timmy English averages 141 versus the Swans. They play Friday night. Max Gawn, who's confirmed in, also plays on the Thursday night against Geelong, averages 145 against Reece Stanley. Or if they didn't have Reece Stanley, they had some space in the ruck. And the last one for the clear cut ones, Friday night, Bond versus the Swans, 129 there. As we move on to the roughies, there's only 3. It's a lot smaller list this week. I've put Sammy Walsh versus the Eagles, which is the last game on the round. Doesn't average great against West Coast, but as we know, West Coast shithouse this year. So Walsh has the potential to go big. Hamish's brother Andrew averages 141 versus St Kilda, and they play on the Saturday night, so it could be a cheeky there. And the last cheeky, the second game on the Sunday, Rob versus the Hawthorn, 128 average. So he'll be coming up against Ned Reeves and should tear him up a new one. So that's the VC and C options. For me, I'm going Clary into Neil.
Do you want to laugh?
Yeah.
My VC and C you did not name.
Who the hell are you going?
So my vice captain is Took against Richmond's depleted midfield.
Yep.
And then my captain is a risky one, and it's Paddy Cripps against the Eagles.
Okay, so let me get them up. Like I've got both of them in my team. So
I'm sticking with it. I thought Cripps was outside the box, but I thought a lot of people probably jump on Took, seeing how poor Richmond midfield has been.
Yeah, so
with
Took,
the big names out.
Took was one I thought about putting in, but quite didn't, but I probably should have. So his last three games, 153, 124, and 79. So 153 plus 124 plus 79 divided by 3. So 118 versus Richmond over the last three. Obviously, 2019, he wasn't the player that he was now. So his last two scores have been pretty good. So, yeah, I see that. And Cripps, 81, 93, and 78 versus West Coast. Now, saying that he was injured most of those years, and they were a better team, but that's an average of 84. So risky, especially with his three-round average of 90. Yeah, I'd probably change it to nil and keep Took, but hey, it's totally up to you. All right, we'll move into the Breakevens team. So the Breakevens scored 2,526. It was a good week for the Breakevens. We jumped another 1,654 ranks, and now sitting at 15,249. So what's that? 650 more ranks than me. So two heads are better than one. I'm pretty sure this shows. There's not too much to complain about. Those that didn't fire for us, most people had anyway, so we're pretty happy. And we're doing no trades this week. We only have two left. We're full primo, so we're going to hold for now. I'm pretty sure. So let's get into these games. So Jack, you had the Lions versus the Doggies.
I did, and for the second week in a row, Channel 7 has been get on this Thursday night blockbuster, and it's been a 40-point plus blowout. This time in Brisbane's favour. So I think Channel 7 might need to pipe down a bit about these blockbusters, because they're really not blockbusters. So, yeah, Brizzy won by 41. Getting into the hots, Charlie Cameron, 137. Lockie Neal, 135. Kitty Coleman, 118. Lincoln McCarthy, 112. Harris Andrews, 105. And Jared Berry, 101. For the Doggies, we have Libba with 144. Bailey Dale with 134, Adam Treloar 109, the Bont and the Sweet himself 108, Jackson McRae 104, and Josh Dunkley 100. Getting into the colds, the only ones I could really that I thought made sense was Dan Rich and Thorko both injuring their hammies.
Yeah.
And they're out for, I think, 1 to 2 weeks, I think they
Yeah.
said.
1 week for each, it seems.
Yeah, and Adam Trelaw had a hamstring problem, but he is playing this week.
Yeah, they didn't use the sub, did they?
No.
No, so must have just been
There was a couple minutes left in the game, and they took
yeah,
him off.
yeah,
So more precautionary more than anything, but it did happen.
yeah.
And I had a heart attack, as you know.
Oh yes. I was watching the game and Jack's like, Trelaw was injured. I'm like, when the fuck did this happen?
That's all I had for that game.
Yeah. Just on one thing. So, you said obviously Zorko and Rich are injured. Kitty Coleman, is he an option?
I was looking at him, but his scores have been very fluctuative. Is that the word?
Yeah.
He can drop the bangers like 118 last week, but he's also been scoring 60s for fun. So it's very scary, and that's why it was between him and Cumming, and I thought go. They're both pod choices, obviously, and I went for what I thought was the smarter choice in Cumming because he showed more consistent scoring.
Yeah.
Where Coleman probably could score more, but he's not as consistent.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at it here. He's played 10 games this season. 4 of them have been under 80. He's had so 76, 58, 47. Those are his 3 first games back. But then he's started being more consistent at 88, 104, 86, 70, 99, 87, and 118. And that's been with Zorko and Rich in the side. Now that they're out of the side this week, and especially playing Essendon, he's got Essendon, GWS, Gold Coast, the next 3. Could he be someone people look at, and then after that Gold Coast game, Tom Stewart's back? So
how many people have the trades to do it? But
you do,
I mean, I do, but
because think about it. You have Cumming.
I do.
Do you think Cumming's going to outscore Kitty Coleman in the next 3 weeks?
On an average, yes.
Playing against Port Adelaide, Brisbane, and Carlton.
Yeah, he takes kickouts. Like the ball's going to be down in the Giants' end a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I think Coleman could be that option with those that have the trades. I mean, would have been great last week to go Kitty Coleman, and then you can go back up to Stewart because Coleman's got a low break even, I think. Well, lowish anyway. Hang on. Break even of 48. So he's going to go up by, see, price projection. What round are we talking? We're talking round 20, right? So we go over here, round 20, he'll be 490k. And what's Stewart at the moment?
575.
562. So it's only 70k more in 3 weeks. It's only 70k more to get Tom Stewart. Now, someone like yourself that has the trades, I'm not sure who's on your bench, but as long as they're 180k or above, you can go them down to a basement price, and then that's your Kitty Coleman up to Tom Stewart. But that because if you think Isaac Cumming and Kitty Coleman are going to average the same over the next 3 weeks, then you can save 40k right now, and then it's only 30k when Stewart comes back. You know what I mean? something to think about, and I can see Jack's face going, I could bloody do that. But
Yeah,
again,
good.
it's a risk. But hey, Jack's got to be thinking about that for the rest of tonight. So we'll move on anyway. I had the next game, Blues versus the Saints. I actually didn't write down who won, but I know the Saints won because I got that bloody tip wrong. So let me get AFL up here. I was supposed to do it, but I didn't. So the Saints won by 15. Bit of an upset. So the hots for the Blues, and this was actually a really boring game. No one was hot. A few people were cold. Hots for the Blues, Adam Sard 124 and Sammy Walsh 115. For the Saints, Jack Sinclair, which is very surprising, this 150, Jack Steele 107, and Paddy Ryder 106. The Colds, I've put Cripps here 98, just because it's not 100. Hewitt 87, Doherty 75, and Adam Cherry 45. And because Ryder turned up, means Marshall had a cold game on 79. Hunter Clark, 59, just came back. He's got a nasal fracture and he's out for 2 weeks. He got his head caved in by a teammate. And Dougal Howard scored 22 and he's out with a knee for 3 to 4 weeks. That's that game done. So, Jack, you had the Bombers versus the Swans, which is another tip I got wrong.
Oh my God, I did. And Essendon won by 9 points.
Yep.
A bit of Jake Stringer magic. I know you hate it, but I know he didn't kick the goal to put him in the lead or seal it, but he won him the game.
He did nothing until the last minute of the game.
Yeah, and won the game. Something the guy would do.
He loses the game.
Getting straight into the hots. Zach Merritt 140 a week after I said he wasn't an option and get rid of him. He's been shit. He's gone and dropped 140. So fuck you, Zach. Nick Hunt 118 and 60 of that super coach was the sealer.
Yep.
Darcy Parish 112. Mason Redmond 102. The man I should have bloody gone. And Chad Warner 155 for the Swans was the only hot. Getting into the colds, it's harsh, and he got dropped down below the 100 after the game, but Luke Parker scored a 98. He was on about 102 and went down 3 or 4 points to 98 in the refigure of to make it even or whatever the fuck it was.
Yep.
They do. Callum Mills an 85, like we said earlier. A Lloyd 89. He's back down to reality. Isaac Heaney 67. He's done what he does every year and he's turned shit again. And Jordan Ridley with an 80.
All right, I had the next game, which was the Crows versus the D's. The D's won by 29 points, as expected. The hots for the Crows, Jordan Dawson, 144, which is 126 more than Aaron Hall. Laird, 130, Rob, 127, and Ben Keys, 124. For the D's, someone that I said could be a possible get because they're end of year beast, and that's Christian Petrarca. Scored 189, went massive. Clary Oliver 176. Probably should put him in the colds because of his average against Adelaide. Ed Langdon 150 and Stephen May 108. As we move to the colds, for the Crows, I've put Walker here. Tex Walker 66 because he's been averaging a decent amount. I've put Angus Brayshaw 83 and James Jordan's a 74. You think, oh, James Jordan's second year 74. He's been averaging over 100 the last 5 weeks. So that's why he gets a cold. Again, that was another boring game. I feel like I got all the boring games this week. Apart from the next one, I'm going to do after Jack does the Cats versus the Roos.
And Geelong only won by 112.
Close game, that.
Very close game. Getting into the Heights, Cam Guthrie 134. Tom Hawkins, who scored more than North Melbourne did as a team, only got 129. Mitch Duncan 121. Mark Blitzarves 118. And Jeremy Cameron 117. Getting onto the Kangas, Davies Uniac got 124 and Luke McDonald 104. Getting into the Colds, Dangerfield a 96, which is a bit harsh for his first game back, but it's Dangerfield, he can get stuffed. Cole Dashnage got injured. And then for North Melbourne, Aaron Hall, he can die. And I thought it was pretty funny, but Ben Mackay got 10 for the game.
Edmund Bonner.
Oh, I know. There's also Kane Turner got injured and Goldie only scored 55.
There you go. So I had the Suns versus the Pies, and the Pies won by 5. Get around it. Nick Dacos, he's going to win a Brownlow. He's already locked in the Rising Star. What an absolute.
But how many of his kicks were kick-ins?
To that bloke, you're an absolute germ. All right, so for the Suns, Talk 153 went big. Noah Anderson 132, Matt Rao 113, and Isaac Rankin, who's been playing pretty well recently, 110. As he moves to the Pies, as I said, Nick Dacos 143, Johnny Noble 108, Maynard, as I said, we've got some soft games. He could go big. I think 2 weeks in a row he's turned up 106. And Josh Dacos, who him and Finn McRae signed 2-year extensions today, scored 101. As he moved to the Colds, Connor Buderick, 87, but he did his knee and he's out for the season. As Jack said at the start, Jared Witt, 63. Marbiel Chol tried to go Super Saiyan God, forgot the extra Super Saiyan and went 40. And Jack, your boy Cheetahs only scored a 26 on debut, which is an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
And we moved.
I was trying to figure the fuck that was, but yeah, nah.
As we moved to the Pies, Darcy Moore finished on a 99, but he hyperextended his knee, and thank God it was only a hyperextension. I'm not sure how long he's out for. I'll probably say a couple of weeks, but they're saying he's a chance this week. But
well, some people expect him to play this week, but I can't see him playing against North Melbourne. There's no point.
Yeah. Chris was 79, Pendle 71, Pat Lipinski 63, and Jordan DeGoey 44. As Jack will take us through Tigers versus the Eagles.
And the Tigers won by 35, even though our midfield did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into the hot, Dan Rioli, 127. Absolute game changer, him and the next bloke, Marlon Pickett, with 120.
Yep.
They were amazing. Nathan Broad, 115. And Shai Bolton, 102. For the Eagles, Tim Kelly, 127. I honestly thought he would have scored a lot more than that. He was taking the piss. Nick Nat, 119. No surprises there. Shannon Hearn, 106. And Paddy Cripps' brother, Jamie, 107. Getting into the Colds, Dusty's got a slight or small hamstring strain. He should only be out for the week.
Yeah, it was just awareness, they said.
Yeah, but he had scans and there was a slight strain to his hamstring.
Yep.
This week, and then they'll reevaluate.
Yep.
Jaden Short, 82. Nick Vloshun got suspended, and he was 100% the person I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute stupid. There was no need to do what he did, especially punch the bloke. And then for West Coast, Elliot Yeo decided to run for the first time this season, and his hamstring went on him again.
Wang.
And it was actually, I can't lie, it was very funny. I'm there watching, like, oh shit, Yo's about to go get this, and he just drops dead next to the ball. And then you just see him slowly walk off. Oh, that's all I had for that game.
Awesome. So I had the Giants versus the Hawks. They played at Wet and Wild theme park because it was bloody that wet. For the Giants, Sam Taylor 124, Josh Kelly 121, Tim Taranto 111, who could be going to Richmond, Geelong, Collingwood, and someone else that Jack mentioned before we started this. Essendon, yeah, who won't want to go there. Cogs 105, Jesse Hogan 105, Callum Brown, not the one that plays for Collingwood, this new guy, plays first game.
The Irish one.
Scored 102, Harry Himmelberg 101, Isaac Cumming 100, and I've put Jacob Ware here with his 89. As we move over to the Hawks, Sicily back at 139, Tom Mitchell showed up for once, 118, and Harry Morrison with 100. As we move to the Colds, we've got both Greens here for GWS. Tom Green 97, bit stiff, but we want more, and Toby Green 62. And for the Hawks, Jack Scrimshaw 72 and James the Walker with 8. He did a shoulder, and to be confirmed on that one.
Dislocated. Could be season.
Yeah. And Jack, you'll quickly take us through Freo versus Port, the last game.
Oh my God, I will. And Freo won by 8. Getting straight into the hot, Hamish's brother Andy scored 134. Shrek Darcy 124. James Aish playing his only good game for his life, 113. Jordan Clark, I was about to say Greg Clark for a second there, 108. And the breakout king, Caleb Sarong, 105. For Port, got Ollie Wines, 119, and Trav Boak, 112. For the Colds, Matt Taberner got injured. Will Brodie only got a 96. Hayden Young, 58. And I just had to, Michael Walters, 19. He's back.
He's back to form.
And for Port, Lockie Jones got injured. And Daniel Houston, we have a problem. Only scored 62.
Yep.
And that's all I had.
That's it. Awesome. Anything you want to speak about before I say bye-bye to the lovely humans, Jack?
Nah.
No, lovely. So that'll do us for tonight's podcast. Did we miss anyone that you wanted to know? Stats, break-evens, whatever, let us know. Also, let us know what your rank is and what you're looking to do trade-wise. If you are doing anything, you can let us know on Twitter or on YouTube. Thank you all again for your support and for listening and watching on Apple Podcasts and on YouTube. It was a lot quicker of a podcast today, but because not much really happened and there wasn't much to talk about. So don't forget to hit us up on Twitter at BreakEvensPod or on YouTube, search Breakevens. As I said at the start, Fantasy Premier League has dropped. We are going to post a few posts here and there. We're still going to do Supercoach related stuff mainly, but it just might pop up here and there. So let us know if you play it and what your draft is looking like at the moment. There is going to be 2 posts up there on our squads. So go let us know there. But back to Supercoach, just good luck to everyone for round 17. Hopefully there's no injuries or suspensions. And on that note, as always, until next week, it's bye for now.
See ya.